Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey.
Hello.
And the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, Dope?
Somewhere in the background is the Lord of Penis, Squishy.
Say hello, Squishy.
Yo, bitches.
And I'm your host, Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Hope you are all having a good Tuesday and are having a good week so far, and that you have a good week ahead of you. We are here on Dune.
What?
I guess. Well, that's the theme of the night. You didn't take a look, did you? You didn't bother to look.
I looked. I just don't know what it was a reference to.
You know, you have absolutely no culture, do you?
I don't need culture. I'm beautiful.
Thank you, Your Chaos, My Serenity, for the donation. Little devil man, thank you so much. Thank you. This is Kyle. Hello, chat people in Lawton. Hello, Kyle. Yeah. Angry Illinois says Scribe is punctual tonight. What night am I not? I hit that button like as soon as the clock ticks down. What's that supposed to mean? Thank you, Officer Buck. Hello, all my Ewoks. Ewoks. I'm taller than an Ewok, as far as I know. Anyway, how are you guys doing tonight? How are you, Satsu?
Pretty good. Had a interesting day, but not bad day, so cool.
All right, Monkey, how are you?
I'm not too bad, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Now we're all very fine. We're all very okay today. That is good. Yes, we're all good here. Everything's fine here. How are you? Yeah. Well, so a little story before we get into the actual show. Our friend Sinatra had his stream obliterated for reasons we can only guess. We'll talk about that in a moment. Thank you, Paige Aviles. Hello, Lawton. It's my dad's birthday today. He's 57 years old and has a YouTube channel. It's American Warhorse for the more conservative viewers here. Conservative viewers? Do we have conservative viewers?
I would imagine.
I would imagine a few.
Well, then heck, we'll have to do a birthday song here in a second. Thank you, Twisted Skipster. Holy cats. That's very generous of you. Thank you so much. Trump bucks for my spirit animal. I'm your spirit animal? Oh boy! Or are you talking about Dog Cat Fox? That's fine. That's acceptable. Thanks so much, Lion Patriot. Thank you. The Dr. Pepper must flow. Yes. The worms are the Dr. Pepper. The Dr. Pepper is the worms. Wait, that doesn't sound right. That sounds bad. I don't mean it like that. You know what I mean. You nerds out there know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Paige, does your dad have a name, or shall we just call him Warhorse? Because we could do that. But let us know, and then we will sing to him for his 57th birthday. Before we get there, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and many of you haven't. And please share our stuff. Share it far, wide, and sideways, because as we're seeing more and more evidence of, YouTube really doesn't care about us or the condition of our channels or anything else. Thank you, Angry Illinoisian. Sorry, I little tipsy. When I drink, I have a knack of stating the obvious. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Tipsy. And thank you, Paige. Oh, that was a necessary page, but I appreciate it. His name is Manny. All right. So it's Manny's birthday.
All right, Manny. It's your birthday, and around here, this is what we do. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday
to you.
My bearded dragon's name is Manny.
Happy birthday to
you.
That makes you a badass, sir.
Happy birthday, dear Manny.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Manny. I hope you had a good one. I really do.
Happy birthday. All right. Yeah, so Sinatra got his stream zapped right in the middle of it. There are suspicions as to what might have caused that. And consequently, it makes me dubious about discussing certain topics tonight, which, of course, feels like a kind of censorship, even if it's kind of an abstract and passive one. But I'm going to take that risk because I don't know what else to do except do what we usually do. And I don't really feel like changing everything just out of fear, because as we know, fear is the mind killer. And thank you, Terry DeMontis. Actually, we prefer to say peoply, not necessarily manny. I think the enamel on my teeth just melted a little.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Terry. That was great. All right. Well, let's get into it. I'm just going to read the headline, and I have a feeling that I can tell that there's going to be a reaction from Satsu and Monkey when I read this. This is CNN's current top story on their website, their premier story. The many times Trump has praised China's handling of the coronavirus pandemic.
Okay.
Now, if I'm not mistaken,
Mm-hmm.
him blaming China was a bad thing and a racist thing.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to highlight the times he praised it.
Yeah, and also, when he was bad-mouthing it, they were praising China. So, all right.
This is and again, it's like these two things could be evenly incorrect. Praising China could be based on either bad information or some, distorted sense of trying to maintain diplomacy. Blaming China, depending on how you're doing it, could be either incorrect, out of proportion, or misplaced. I don't know. But the thing is, you've given Trump the victim card without him asking for it by making it a catch-22. No matter what he does, what he says, right, wrong, or otherwise on the given day, you're going to say it's wrong. And so at what point are you wrong? CNN specifically, media in general. President Donald Trump has repeatedly criticized the World Health Organization over the past week for being China-centric and failing to, quote, objectively assess the situation on the ground and to call out China's lack of transparency, unquote, as the coronavirus death toll increases globally. Trump's heightened rhetoric comes as he and his administration are facing scrutiny over their own handling of the pandemic, with early missteps that included downplaying the threat the virus posed and delays and shortages in coronavirus testing. Downplaying the threat, you say? Shall I pull out the Anderson Cooper and Dr. Sanjay Gupta clip where they say it's just the flu, bro?
That never happened.
I know. Or Nancy Pelosi telling everybody, yeah, come on down to Chinatown.
Never
It's
happened.
great. Nothing wrong. Although Trump has recently expressed some displeasure with China, his tough comments of late are a far cry from his past statements on the nation and its leader, Xi Jinping. Whom he praised for his transparency and management of the outbreak. Hey, CNN, have you ever, trusted somebody, found out after the fact they lied to you? Okay. What was that?
Sorry, that's a drawer to my keyboard.
You need to oil that sucker.
No, just be careful not to move it during stream.
Okay.
Oh God, Scribe.
My train of thought was derailed because Monkey likes Red Dead Redemption 2 too much. You get to derail the train in that game, don't you?
I don't think you do. That'd be
really
cool as fuck, but I don't
derail. No, you can. Well, I guess technically you make one fall off a bridge that you blow up.
That makes it come off its rails, so sure. Okay. Anyway, Trump's stance contrasted with those of other senior members of the administration, including Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who have called out Beijing for its failures to share key information at the outset of the pandemic, hindering the global response and costing lives. How many stories did we read where CNN was basically touting the numbers of China's successes against Italy or the U.S. day after day?
CNN, it was It was pretty much every liberal or leftist media outlet I can think of.
Yep.
They were all doing that shit. And they were saying, like, literally, Trump can learn from China the things that China did right and Trump did wrong. Like, I can go pull them up. They still,
Please
I'm
do.
sure they didn't delete them.
Please do. I mean, I'd like to get a collection of those because CNN identified at least 30 separate instances where Trump praised China since January. All right. Homework assignment for those of you who are listening to this. If you can find stories where it's not CNN quoting someone else, but touting a critique of Trump using China's example, whether it's an opinion piece from a CNN analyst or a direct story from one of their stable of multiple field editors or something, just tweet it at me or tweet at us with hashtag CNN loves China.
Yay, CNN loves China.
Yeah, hashtag CNN loves China. And either later this evening or maybe in a future show, we'll take a look and go through all the several of the examples, just for fun, just for the sake of hypocrisy, because. And here's the other thing, though, too. If you find a story about it, you might want to check the Wayback Machine and go to the original version, because I have a feeling. Just, call me paranoid. I have a feeling that certain edits may have been made in the time since such stories were first posted. I'm just have a feeling, just call it a hunch. Anyway, then there's this long date by date, quote by quote list of times where Trump said something complimentary to China or about China, going from January 22nd through April 1st. So I'm not going to read them all. I will put the link in the chat if you'd like to see them. I don't disbelieve, let me make it clear, I don't disbelieve that Trump has said nice things about China, either misinformed or done for the sake of diplomacy and sort of, I don't know, international pragmatism, or a combination of the two. And then, like on a dime at certain points, as soon as they started blaming us for the virus, he started pushing back. Like one does when you feel like you've been betrayed by somebody you gave the benefit of the doubt to. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, he's made complimentary remarks even since we knew they'd lied to us about, we've worked together to fight this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that very good call with President Xi.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, these things have happened, but context matters.
Well, context matters, and also the fact that it's one of those. I mean, with China, with Saudi Arabia, with all these nations that operate in ways that are entirely antithetical to how we run our country and see our culture, and yet they possess resources, money, whatever, to such a degree that we have no choice but to deal with them cordially, at best, and because we what are we going to do? We can't shut ourselves off from everybody. It's a global village, et cetera, and we can't start a war over every ideological difference. So, can I extend the benefit of the doubt to Trump that he has to sort of play nice sometimes? Sure, just like I could to Obama or even to Bush, although Bush literally had his hand in hand with the Saudis, which really wasn't that fun. But you know what I mean? I can't blame world leaders for having to grin and bear it sometimes. I don't know what Trump's true motivations are, but I've never had a notion that he was a big fan of China. If you listen to him on the campaign trail, if you listen to him about the tariffs and the trade war he was starting up, it's not like he's in China's pocket. So anyway.
You know why this happened? This article, I mean. Because the Trump campaign put out that article or that ad suggesting that Biden was too nice to China. So now,
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Oh, monkey's got the red string on the corkboard, guys. Thank you, Jordan.
Oh, God.
Thank you, Jordan Edwardson, for the Dogcat Fox. My hero. Oh, and thank you, Cody Fry. Heaven forbid a diplomat be diplomatic. Well, okay, Trump's no diplomat. Okay, but the job and the necessities of the job, and just not shutting yourself off from everybody and their brother, requires a little bit of diplomacy, as rudimentary as it might be for Trump. So, like I say, I can extend a politician at that level a certain amount of leeway when it comes to dealing with countries or individuals that we don't like, but we have no choice but to deal with, that kind of thing. So, I mean, what are you going to do? Anyway.
So far, the first article I found is titled Opportunity of the Century, How Coronavirus Crisis Could Establish China as a Global Leader.
Is that CNN?
CNBC.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. I'm looking for the CNN stuff because that's the specific. But CNBC, yeah, no, I mean the media has been praising these guys and trying to say, look at this. Oh yeah, no, China's great as compared to Trump. Trump sucks compared to China. Even if we know their numbers are completely off and they've been lying to us, they're great. Yeah, because Trump derangement syndrome overcomes reason, obviously. Let's see. What else? Okay. And from the Captain Obvious file, this headline: COVID's medical devastation will be felt by millions who never contract the disease. In our current moment of social distancing and necessary medical triage, millions of Americans are going without medical treatment, both preventative and elective. Those with pre-existing and undiagnosed chronic diseases throughout the country will not get care, and some will die. Some already have died, actually, from lack of attention and treatment due to COVID-19. Yeah, it's almost like it's unreasonable to put all your focus on one thing and ignore everybody else. Many of them will never even have been infected by or shown symptoms of the virus, but their neglected illnesses must be accounted for when taking stock of its devastating toll on our society. Please do not tell me, as tragic as it is, that you're going to count someone who didn't get that surgery they needed and died as a coronavirus-related death. Please don't do that. I'm just saying that abstractly. I don't think that's what's being suggested here, but the looseness of the definition of what counts as a coronavirus death or infection these days, I would not be surprised. Over 800,000 Americans suffer a heart attack each year, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which amounts to roughly one case every 40 seconds. Yet, as was noted recently by Dr. Harlan Krumholtz in the New York Times, doctors in Europe and the U.S. have been asking, where have all the heart attacks gone? Wouldn't that be a good thing to wonder?
Well, if there was a reason for them to have gone away, sure.
Yeah. While COVID-19 cases have been surging throughout the world, physicians in Italy and Spain are reporting 40 to 70% reductions in major heart attack admissions, while cardiologists in Boston, Seattle, Minneapolis, and Cincinnati have also been surprised by the 40% decline in presentation of the most severe heart attack patients at their hospitals. It's too early to draw definitive conclusions about these numbers until more comprehensive data is available. It's interesting that you give that caveat, given the fact that you, CNN, and so many other news outlets are more than happy to dole out every number that comes from any place like Italy and China without checking up on it, and also just letting it pass that someone who has a heart attack but just happened to be infected with COVID-19 is a COVID-19 death. I mean, I appreciate the sentiment here. I just wish you'd apply it to everything else. But there is general unease around the cardiology community about this drop. Yeah, they won't be able to afford their golf club memberships anymore. On one hand, optimists have posited that people may be resting more, smoking less, facing less particulate matter with diminished pollution, and avoiding stressful situations due to social distancing policies, leading to fewer actual heart attacks. Others, however, worry that what is actually happening is that some cardiac patients, afraid of being exposed to coronavirus, may be avoiding hospitals, minimizing their symptoms, and staying home. Well, isn't that what you just said?
How many of them are coming in for chest pain and you guys going, COVID?
Yeah. But wait, didn't that last sentence just essentially restate what they said before?
Of course.
Okay, just to make sure I'm not crazy, I'm going to read that part again. On one hand, optimists have posited that people may be resting more, smoking less, facing less particulate matter with diminished pollution, and avoiding stressful situations due to social distancing policies, leading to fewer actual heart attacks. Others, however, worry that what is actually happening is that some cardiac patients afraid of being exposed to coronavirus may be avoiding hospitals, minimizing their symptoms, and okay, I see, minimizing the worry about their symptoms. Okay, because when you said minimizing their symptoms, okay, I was like, took me a second. All right, so gosh, I'm feeling a little chest pain. I'll just stay home. I won't go to the doctor. Okay, I get it now. Sorry, it confused me there for a second. I was like, aren't they just two of the six of one thing, half a dozen of the other? I could believe it. I could believe both of those. You know, I mean, when you've scared everybody and their brother into thinking that going outside is going to kill them, why would anybody want to go outside who already worries about their health?
I just have trouble believing people who are having heart attacks aren't going, yeah, take me to the hospital now.
I don't know.
Now, I can see it like, okay, I have a little bit of chest pain. And if they're talking about a severely mild heart attack, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, maybe. But wasn't this about the total? This was total numbers of heart attacks in the U.S., right? Or
well,
I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, Chicago might, and you basically said a second ago, but you know, Chicago Mike restates a good point. Nope, some are suffering a heart attack, then going to the hospital and are dying from COVID-19. Are there fewer heart attacks, or are there fewer deaths being attributed to heart attack?
Mm-hmm.
Could that be the answer? Is that anything they're going to consider in this article, I wonder?
It is amazing how many times we've heard that COVID is going after some people's heart. It's giving them heart attacks. We've actually heard that.
Yeah.
Is it? Or are these people having heart attacks? I'm going, chalk that one up.
Well, speaking of which, did you hear this? This was a big story. I'm not going to read the story, but a couple days ago, there's a big story about how a Broadway Hamilton actor lost his leg due to complications from coronavirus.
What?
Yeah, so they might have it in here, but there was a. So it was. I should just bring up the story. Sorry, I thought you'd already heard about it. So. Broadway amputation. Okay, let's read this one. Broadway star Nick Cordero had his leg amputated due to coronavirus complications. Broadway actor Nick Cordero is recovering after having his right leg amputated following complications with coronavirus, his wife said. The Tony Award-nominated star has been battling coronavirus for more than 2 weeks. His wife, Amanda Klutz, has kept fans informed by sharing updates on his health on her Instagram. Saturday was day 18 of him being sedated in the intensive care unit, Klutz told her social media followers. While hospitalized, he started having clotting issues on his right leg and could not get blood down to his toes. The blood thinners he got to fix the clotting issues were affecting his blood pressure and causing internal bleeding in his intestines, Klutz said. He is hospitalized in Los Angeles. They had him on blood thinners for the clotting. Unfortunately, the blood thinners were causing other issues, she said Saturday. The right leg.
Are you losing that?
So,
or is that me?
Is that him? Okay, yeah, we're losing you, Scribbles. I just assumed it was me because my internet's shit.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I coherent?
Yep.
You are at the moment.
Okay. Because I was having this happen on my TED Excellence thing earlier, and it's very frustrating, as you guys know. Do we have a Sinatra raid? Just refresh, Scribbles. I don't know if it's... Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Just making sure. Like I say, I get paranoid. Where did I lose you?
He got blood clot medicine and
Okay. Quote, they had him on blood thinners for the clotting. Unfortunately, the blood thinners were causing other issues, his wife said Saturday. The right leg will be amputated today. And so what I was saying is, so they gave him something to try to treat something else, and it caused his right leg to get screwed up, and they amputated it. But it's a coronavirus-related amputation?
yeah. Because he's in the hospital for corona, so it has to be.
Now, I brought up that story because here's the one that CNN put up today. And I'm wondering, is this a story to bolster the theory of what happened to that other guy, or is it actually a thing? You'll see what I mean when I read it here. Doctors try to untangle why coronavirus patients seem to be prone to blood clots. Dr. Catherine Hibbert's, Dr. Hibbert? Are we in Springfield? Dr. Catherine Hibbert's COVID-19 patient in the intensive care unit was not doing well. As his blood pressure plummeted, she tried to insert an intravenous line into an artery in his wrist. A blood clot clogged the tubing. Frustrated, Hibbert tried again with a new needle. A blood clot clogged up that line as well. It took three tries to insert the IV. Quote, you just watch it clot right in front of you, said Hibbert, director of the medical intensive care unit at Massachusetts General Hospital. Quote, it's rare to have that happen once and extremely rare to have that happen twice, unquote. Hibbert and other doctors are finding that some patients, infected with the novel coronavirus have a propensity towards developing blood clots, which can be life-threatening if the clot travels to the heart or lungs. Quote, the number of clotting problems I'm seeing in the ICU, all related to COVID-19, is unprecedented. See, when you say related to, Dr. Jeffrey Lawrence, a hematologist at Weill Cornell Medicine in New York City, wrote in an email to CNN, quote, blood clotting problems appear to be widespread in severe COVID. Lawrence and his colleagues looked at autopsies on 2 patients and found blood clots in the lungs and just beneath the surface of the skin, according to a study published last week. They also found blood clots beneath the skin surface on 3 living patients. In the Netherlands, a study found, quote, remarkably high, unquote, rates of clotting among COVID patients in the ICU. An international consortium of experts from more than 30 hospitals gathered to consider the issue. Their conclusion, it's unclear exactly why, but coronavirus patients may be predisposed to having clots. Okay. So is it like they have an inborn weakness to it, and that also coincides with having blood clot issues?
I don't know.
Are the two related? Quote, this is one of the most talked about questions in COVID right now, said Michelle Gong, chief of the Division of Critical Care Medicine at Montefiore Medical Center in New York City. At Montefiore, they've started to pull all COVID-19 patients on low doses, to put all COVID-19 patients on low doses of blood thinners to prevent clots. Unless those blood thinners then screw up the rest of their body and they have to cut off the person's leg, which is what happened to the actor guy.
Is this for all COVID patients or only the ones who've been in bed for 2 weeks?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. It's like if you, I don't know. I mean, they're not saying all, but just an unprecedented number. It's a higher level specifically in these patients. If you don't move, if you stay in bed, if you're not going anywhere for a long time, you have a higher chance of developing blood clots simply from the lower circulation of blood and the stagnation of your limbs and such. So, I don't know. Quote, it's out of the norm and we're wondering, are blood clots one of the reasons why these patients are dying, said Dr. Todd Rice, an associate professor of medicine at Vanderbilt University. I don't know. Aren't you the doctors? Is the cause of death COVID-19 or is it blood clot?
And this is the problem we're having.
Oh, here we go. Being in an intensive care unit, sick and lying still, can be a perfect storm for blood clots for any patient. Quote, even before COVID, we're on high alert for suspicion of clots in the ICU because they're at high risk. Even so, doctors have a hunch that COVID patients might be clotting even more than other ICU patients. That was me putting my glasses down on the keyboard and rubbing my eyes, because it's like, you could have said something earlier in the article to say that it's a hunch, that it's
Donald
a problem.
Trump says something's a hunch. It's a big deal. Actual doctors saying it. That's nothing to fucking worry about, you guys.
I am. What the fuck? And they bury that in the latter third of the article.
Oh fuck!
This is a top news story, and
I got
they
a hunch.
bury it. I got a hunch. All right.
Believe the science, you guys.
And just as a topper off, just for the hell of it, given the headline of the first story I read, how short CNN's memory is, as my phone beeps at me from work, and I have to check it, make sure I don't have to suddenly go out of the way and stuff and things and stuff. I'm fine. So today's the 21st. 3 days ago on the 19th, a very brief summary of something that Fareed Zakaria said on his editorial. Blaming China fixes nothing.
Not this time.
Fareed breaks down why President Trump's insistence on blaming China for the damage the COVID-19 outbreak is hindering a global response to the pandemic. Yeah. So remember, when Trump praises China, it's bad. When Trump blames China, it's bad.
Well, I got a question in response to that.
Mm-hmm.
What does blaming Trump accomplish?
Everything.
Ratings, clicks, controversy, angry people clicking on things, and people who agree clicking on things.
Okay.
That's it.
Yep.
But that aside, let's see here. I want to check that. All right. It's bottom of the hour, guys, so we're going to move on to the wonderful world of MSS News. If you have a news story you would like to see us read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise to get to them all, but that's because I'm long-winded. This one comes from an American Celt, and it has nothing to do, as far as I can tell, with the usual subject matter. NASA fixes Mars lander by telling it to hit itself with a shovel.
Nice.
I like this already. NASA's InSight lander, which is currently on the surface of Mars, has faced some unexpected problems during its mission to explore and study the planet. Namely, a digging probe that was built to burrow beneath the surface like a jackhammer got stuck because Mars's soil is clumpier than scientists expected. You might almost say it's clotting. Sorry. After a few failed attempts to get it out, NASA had to get a bit creative. Ultimately, it freed the probe up by giving it a solid thwack with InSight's shovel. Apparently, there's video of this. That's hilarious. NASA expected its probe, dubbed the Mole, to dig its way through sand-like terrain, but because the Martian soil clumped together, the whole apparatus got stuck in place. Programming InSight's robotic arm to land down on the Mole was a risky last-resort maneuver because it risked damaging fragile power and communication lines that attached nearby. Thankfully, engineers spent a few months practicing in simulations before they made a real attempt. A few months. Jeez Louise. With tentative results that the Mole is working again, NASA hopes to again task it with burrowing beneath the surface of Mars. Once it's down there, it will hopefully be able to complete its research mission, analyzing temperature fluctuations inside the red planet in an attempt to understand how similar Mars's core is to that of the Earth. Or it will unleash a alien plague.
One of the two. Got that.
No, an alien plague.
You don't know this ain't alien.
That's from another country, so technically by definition. Oh wait, that's racist. Sorry. Moving on. Oh no. Frosted Glass. Senior corner correspondent. What do we have today? It's from Medium, if you can believe it. And the headline says, I promise it's not lame to ask a woman for permission.
You know.
Permission to what?
Well,
to land.
They do realize that the fact that you have to make that promise says it's lame, right?
It's fucking lame, man.
The underheading says 6 years ago, Dave Buddha, Booda, was accused of rape. He didn't defend himself. Instead, here's what happened. Okay, and this is written by Dave Buddha. I'm curious now. 6 years ago, a woman accused me of rape. Here's the story. I met a woman in Houston while on tour as a musician. We exchanged numbers, and when I came back to town a few years later, okay, I looked her up. We met for food, then went back to her place and decided to have sex. Actually, I assume we decided to have sex because clothes were coming off and body parts were being pushed together, but there was never any words exchanged or verbal confirmation that we both wanted to have sex.
Were you taking off her clothes?
I simply made a move and she didn't say no. I leaned in for a kiss and she didn't say no. I put my hands on her breasts and she didn't say no. I reached down her pants, she didn't say no. I went through all the motions, all the way up to and through intercourse, and she didn't say no. So I assumed she was enjoying herself and everything was good. Then after sex was over, she turned to me and said the 3 words no decent man ever wants to hear. You
I'm
raped
pregnant?
me.
Oh.
No, you raped me.
What?
Wait. I'm sorry. She waited till it was over. She didn't say nothing through all of the intercourse and everything. Apparently her mouth was occupied.
So she didn't resist you physically. She didn't push you away. She didn't defend herself. Nothing. And then after, okay. It goes on. I was stunned. You don't say. It was like she told me, you have a carrot growing out of your forehead.
Nah, those are not the same thing.
Not even close.
Not even remotely close. Holy fuck.
I was very clear I didn't have a carrot growing out of my forehead. What? Okay.
That was my
and
penis.
I was equally as clear I didn't rape her, at least according to my definition. We'll talk about that later. This sounds like a man who just gave up. Thankfully, what I decided to do next was smarter than my previous decision to have sex. I stuck around and listened.
Yeah, that makes rape all better, you guys. When you rape somebody, you just sit there and you listen to her feelings about it.
Oh, that's right. Most rapists do that.
Thank you, Angry Illinoisian. She is a tease. I don't know what she is yet. I didn't defend myself, mostly because I was still in shock that I could even be capable of such a thing.
Oh, my God.
You didn't do it.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Wow, this guy's believe all women to the core.
Holy shit.
I saw that she was upset and decided that whatever...
Before we get there, and I know we haven't got there yet, I want to take bets. Do you think he turned himself into the police?
I don't think so. I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no too, but I'm curious. Scribbles, you got a guess on that one?
I'm pressing X to doubt that.
Okay.
Okay. That's right. I saw that she was upset and decided that whatever I did, I wasn't going to leave her like this. I knew I screwed something up. Okay, but I also knew that I had no intention of hurting her, so I stayed and listened, desperately trying to demonstrate that I wasn't the guy she thought I was.
But
the guy that went out to dinner with after years of... Okay. 6 hours later, and me making a few runs to the local convenience store for cigarettes and snacks, she seemed to be at peace with everything.
Thank you for those ho-hos. I feel better about being raped.
The sun was coming up and we parted ways. Although I still felt confused, I had communicated to her that I genuinely cared, which at that point was all I could hope for. I wish I could say I immediately turned things around, but the truth was I had no idea what I did wrong. I thought that because she didn't say no, that I did my job, but I was wrong.
What?
I realized that to understand consent and permission, I didn't just need to get an unequivocal yes, but I also needed to understand a woman's experience and when yes really means yes.
Whoa, what?
Oh,
wait,
my God.
Time out. I'm guessing this wasn't in this specific scenario, but she beat him into knowing when yes actually means yes?
Well, that's the next section. When yes, hold on. When yes doesn't mean yes.
What?
The more I talk, this is you guys are having the same reaction I do to most TEDx talks. The more I talk to women about their experience, the more I realized it wasn't at all like mine. You don't say. Men and women having different experiences, different people even. I rarely feel unsafe. Well, I bet you feel pretty unsafe now, don't you? When I leave a bar at 2 a.m, okay, I'm mostly thinking about an all-night taco shop, not will I get assaulted on the way to my car. Then this part is highlighted for some reason. I've never said no to someone and been afraid that they would become violent. I've never walked through a crowded bar and been afraid someone will grope me.
What?
Okay. So remember, not being afraid of something means everyone else is. When I began to understand this, it changed the way I talked to women about sex. I needed them to understand that my standard of yes was no longer I'm okay with this as it was in the past, but nothing short of a 100% enthusiastic, full body yes. What about her body wasn't saying yes in that first example?
Full body yes. Like she's got to do a YMCA kind of dance.
Does she have to like scream in your ear till it bleeds? Is that positive enough? I was also clear that I would celebrate their no if that was true for them. What? I would explain to... Oh, you're starting to get into mansplaining territory. I would explain to them that no was just as valuable to me as yes, because the goal wasn't to move things forward sexually. It was to create an environment where we both felt the freedom to speak into what we wanted and the patience to discover what that is. Using our voice was the foundation on which anything we did together was built, and if that wasn't there, nothing was possible. A funny thing started happening after I would give these speeches to women. I would hear things like, I've never had anyone actually care about what I wanted.
Oh, bullshit.
So you mean I can tell you what I want and you'll listen? I wish more men communicated like this. What a relief. Thank you. Thank you, Duck Dog. She's the same kind of woman that uses literally and means figuratively.
Okay. Let's back up. I have two theories. The first theory is this pretty much happened about the way that he explained it. But he really feels bad about this whole scenario. And now he's going around and preaching and kind of fudging the details just a little bit to make it seem, like it was this profound thing. Or he raped the fuck out of that girl very violently and aggressively and managed to get her to shut up with snacks. And is now like, whew, I need to cover this shit up before it gets out. Like that's the only two things I think could happen here.
Yeah. I'm going to just finish this thing because it's just fascinating. Next section is called, But That's Lame. The more I stressed the importance of communication with women I was with, the better my experiences became. The more I slowed down our interaction and brought awareness to speaking our desires, the hotter we would get for each other.
Oh, fuck you.
I started having experiences that were incredibly fulfilling, both sexually and emotionally. Women would tell their friends about me. Now I'm a casual gigolo. No, wait, I added that last part. One even joked about starting a Yelp page and writing me a 5-star review.
Mm-hmm.
Press X to doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, when I would explain this to men and enroll them in the idea of allowing a woman's desires to lead the interaction versus their agenda for sex, I would occasionally get the comment, but that sounds so lame. I used to think that too. In fact, I even know where it comes from. Ignorance. It's ignorant to believe that my experience as a man is the same as her experience as a woman. It's ignorant to think that because I feel good with moving things forward, that she would too. When I slowed things down, I also noticed that not only was I not checking in with her, I wasn't checking in with myself. Am I really ready to move things forward sexually? Once I started asking myself that question honestly, I found there were a lot of things I wanted to communicate, especially because I wanted to create something special, not just check the boxes. I wanted to know if there was anyone who would be upset if we were together. I wanted to know when the last time she got tested was, and I wanted to share my results. I wanted to know a few things that really turn her on and a few things that turn her off, and I wanted to share my own. Most of all, I wanted to know that she had a clear mind, and I wanted to know that I wanted to know what was in the way of her being a 100% yes, not because I had an agenda to get somewhere, but because I don't want to be called a rapist again. No, wait, sorry. But because it would help us feel safe with each other. In conclusion, if I could insert myself into the brains of every man on earth and drop one piece of wisdom, it would be this. When women don't have a voice, everyone loses. That's the thing I never got until I did. This has got to be a fucking Poe. This has got to be a Poe. Nobody's this fucking stupid. That's the thing I never got until I did. Everything I wanted sexually, everything I worked so hard to get in my 20s was available all along. And it wasn't because I didn't have enough game. It was because I believed that on some level that I had to convince women to want sex. Well, my friends, this may not come as a big surprise, but it's worth repeating. Women love sex. In fact, I found that women love sex even more than men, but they only love sex under the right conditions. You mean like not being raped? Much like a garden won't grow without the right soil, water, and care, women won't express themselves sexually unless they feel safe. And we as men have the brilliant opportunity to create that. And when we don't, we're simply shooting ourselves in the foot or committing a level 3 felony. When women don't feel safe, they don't want to have sex. Then because no one is having sex, it becomes scarce and men chase after it more and women withhold it more. And we have to play games to coerce each other to try to get something we both already wanted in the first place. No. Welcome to the insanity of today's culture. It doesn't have to be this way. There are places on earth where women feel safe and men take a stand for things like permission and true consent. I've been there. And you know what happens at these places? People have a lot of sex and they feel great afterwards. When women don't have a voice, everyone loses. But when women have a voice, everyone wins. Which world are you helping create?
Now, contrast this story with the one we read about that chick who's like, that guy who kept asking me every 2 seconds if it was okay pissed me off. I don't want to date a male feminist anymore.
Thank you, Willett Forge. Things that turn her off, you.
Now,
yes.
My confusion.
Yes.
My confusion is that the narrative being built at the beginning did not match the narrative being built at the end there. Because the whole reason that he had sex with the girl in the first place is because her body basically in every way outside of her literally telling him whatever she was feeling, like he got laid. But he literally just said at the end, and what he was trying to convince people is women don't express themselves sexually if they don't feel safe. She clearly didn't feel safe, and you had sex with her. And
she was scared, Satsu. She was fearful of his masculine toxicity, Satsu.
She expressed herself sexually because she was so scared.
Thank you, Tweak 256. I am the one good man, the article. Also, it's my birthday. Well, Tweak, we'll have a song for you in a second. Paige Avilas, thank you so much. I need to sue the author for making me roll my eyes so much that they fell out. Right. But anyway, Monkey, it's Tweak's birthday.
Tweak, it's your birthday. And around here we do this. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
I'm still in shock from that story.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Tweak.
I fucking hate people.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sir. I hope you have a great one.
How do you know it's a sir?
I'm just going by the name Tweak.
Tweak. All right. Well, we can bring that back up during deep topic time. I want to get at least another couple stories in before we get into the rest of it. Let's see. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. Tessa Thompson. If you guys don't know who Tessa Thompson is, she plays Valkyrie in the Marvel movies.
Ah, okay.
Tessa Thompson does not want to work with a bunch of white people or men.
So she's a sexist and a racist. Okay.
Actress Tessa Thompson has said she does not want to work with a bunch of white people or men. The star of Selma and the Creed franchise, well, let's talk about Valkyrie, shall we, has said she does not wish... Oh, this is a story from 2018. November 28th of 2018. Okay, well. She has since worked with white men a lot because she's in Marvel. When did Ragnarok come out?
Oh God, I don't know. A couple years.
Was that 2018?
Ish, sure.
Yeah. Okay. So this might be before she was actually in that movie, and now yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, maybe she feels that way. She's still taking the money. Short version. This one comes from Sean Uli. Supreme Court. Criminal juries must be unanimous to convict. I guess there are states that have rules elsewise.
2 of them, yes.
Yeah, it's Oregon and... What was the other one?
Louisiana.
Was it? Okay. Let's see. The Supreme Court ruled Monday that juries in state criminal trials must be unanimous to convict a defendant, settling a quirk of constitutional law that had allowed divided votes to result in convictions in Louisiana and Oregon. Yay, we both right. Justice Neil Gorsuch wrote for the court that the practice is inconsistent with the Constitution's right to a jury trial and that it should be discarded as a vestige of Jim Crow laws in Louisiana and racial, ethnic, and religious bigotry that led to its adoption in Oregon in the 1930s. Oregon is racist and bigoted? Thank you, Gamer Valine. There goes her career after current contracts. I have a feeling that, let's see, 2017 was Ragnarok? Okay, well, I don't know. She's still getting work. She's still taking the paycheck, so she must not mind it that much. Let's see. Quote, in fact, no one before us contests any of this. Courts in both Louisiana and Oregon have frankly acknowledged that race was a motivating factor in the adoption of their states' respective non-unanimity rules, Gorsuch wrote. The justices' 6-3 vote overturned the conviction of Evangelisto Ramos. He is serving a life sentence in Louisiana for killing a woman after a jury voted 10-2 to convict him in 2016. Oregon is the only other state that allows for non-unanimous convictions for some crimes. Louisiana voters changed the law for crimes committed beginning in 2019. So by overturning the conviction, does that mean he gets a new trial or he's just free?
Overturn the conviction means he's free, and that they can pursue another trial if they'd like to. He's not clear. He's just free.
Okay, and that double jeopardy doesn't apply?
Not. This shouldn't be on an overturn. No.
Okay. Now, I'm not a legal expert. Yeah, like I say, I'm not a legal expert. So I'm like,
with that distinction, maybe it wouldn't apply because I don't know. I'd have to look at that closer. Maybe it says in the article.
Let's see. We are heartened that the court has held once and for all that the promise of the Sixth Amendment fully applies in Louisiana, rejecting any concept of second-class justice, Ramos's lawyer Ben Cohen said in a statement. In light of the COVID-19 crisis, it is essential that prisoners who are wrongfully incarcerated be given the chance for release as soon as possible, so they can have a higher chance of catching it out in public. Okay. The Great Equalizer. Let's see. Does it say anything else about Ramos in here? No. So I don't know. So, yeah. Maybe he's just out for killing a person. And there's no... Well, I don't know. Okay, we'll do one more here, just for the heck of it. All right, something funny to end off with.
I thought that rape one was funny.
Oh, it was something else. I'll tell you what. Gulf City Cult of Krill sends us this one. De Blasio's social distancing tip line flooded with penis photos and Hitler memes.
Good.
Mayor Bill de Blasio's critics let him know how they really felt about him, as ads pop up all over the place, and I can't read the article. How they really felt about him, ordering New Yorkers to snitch on each other for violating social distancing rules by flooding his new tip line with crank complaints, including dick pics and people flipping the bird, the Post has learned.
Yes.
Photos of extended middle fingers, the mayor dropping the Staten Island groundhog, and news coverage of him going to the gym have all been texted to a special tip line that de Blasio announced Saturday, according to screenshots posted on Twitter. One user sent the message, quote, "We will fight this tyrannical overreach," to the service, and got an automated message that in part said, quote, "Hello, and thank you for texting NYC311, unquote. Thank you, Page of Elis, Internet 1, de Blasio 0. I think the internet has more points than that, but I get your meaning. Fuck you, replied at Morgan L. Schmidt, along with a meme showing Adolf Hitler, to the words, "To those turning in your neighbors and local businesses, you did the Reich thing," unquote. Other profane messages included a photo of a bowl of gummy candies in the shape of male genitalia and a sign saying, quote, "Eat a bag of dicks," unquote.
Good. I have no problem with that story.
That's hilarious. But with that, guys, I understand not a lot of stories today, but man, that first one really took the wind out of our sails for forward progress through the story. So maybe we'll grab a couple more later, but for now, we're going to move on to YouTube time. Thank you for the stories. I'll go first because it's quick. So I found out that tomorrow I have a potentially very long conference call I'll have to be on at work, which would probably, or actually will, run into my usual routine for doing a TED Excellence. So I broke my own little rule today to do one today because I felt like it. And it was a new concept that I hadn't heard articulated before: toxic positivity.
What?
Toxic positivity.
The fuck is that?
In a nutshell, at least as this one speaker presents it, I'm going to another presentation on this buzz phrase because I'm the speaker.
Hey, Bud, you're doing it again. You are roboting really, really hard. While you're doing that, let me get your super chat here. Thank you, Midnight in Exile, who says, de Blasio thinks he's king of black New Yorkers. He started a snitch line and will have no idea why it was bad.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Scribbles, you with us? Rotro.
Nope.
Oh, there you are. You said nope, and we caught that, but that was it.
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Can you hear us?
Hello?
I'm guessing
I can hear you, but we're on a delay.
Yeah, I think our responses are delayed. So.
All right, we're going to give him a second, see if he comes back quickly. If he does, then we'll let him go back to his. And if not, one of us will start ours. So how you been, Satsu?
Man.
Wait, hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Let me try that again. And I apparently, because the chat box is not telling me about super chats. Great. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Midnight in Exile. De Blasio thinks he's king of black New Yorkers. He started the snitch line and will have no idea why it was bad. Well, he's oblivious. What can I tell you? Okay, so what was I saying? Toxic positivity.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So as the speaker described it, briefly, let's say that you've fallen and you broke your leg. and you're in constant pain and you're complaining about it on the way to the hospital, and the person who is helping you to the ambulance says, "Stop it, man. Just be positive. Think positively." That is toxic positivity. Except it's not positivity. It's called avoidance and suppression. Throughout the entire talk, this guy equated the notion of positivity with avoidance of issues or problems, or repressing your concerns or worries. That's how he defined toxic positivity, was that the power of positive thinking is actually trying to ignore your problems, avoid your problems, or have your problems be dismissed or reduced.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what positivity is. And like I said, I don't know what this guy, he had a lot of problems. I didn't take him as somebody who was trying to be intentionally deceptive or manipulative. It was just a very skewed perspective on reality. And it was a very bizarre talk that he gave. But like I say, I'm going to go look for another example at some point, whether it's a TEDx talk or not, and take a look. Thank you, Chicago Mike. Here's a super chat test. Well, thank you, Chicago Mike. It tested well. Appreciate it.
I've actually heard something like that before, but it was like stop telling people it's gonna be all right when they're distressed or something, or if they have a problem.
Yeah. I mean, I know of that feeling. I've been in that place before where I'm just like down in the dumps and everything sucks, and somebody's trying their best to cheer me up, and it's more like I that's the last thing I want to hear. It's kind of reverse psychology kind of thing. I don't want to be told that things are going to be better. I just want to work through what's going on with me. That kind of thing. I wouldn't call it toxic. It's just maybe counterproductive or ill-timed or something. Right. I did a TEDx like last year, I think it was, where a lady was complaining about how being nice or being friendly is bad because it's condescending or diminishing other people's stuff. So they never use the phrase toxic positivity, but something similar to that. But anyway, it was a buzz phrase that I don't think I'd ever heard before. I've seen toxic put in front of a lot of things, but toxic positivity was new to me. So I did that one. I have another one that I'm thinking about doing. I'm not sure yet, but it's basically a lady saying how the best way to be a mother is to look at your family as a business.
Cool.
Okay.
I don't know if that's necessarily a good or bad thing, but I may look at that in my next TEDx one. So it'll probably be on Thursday, because I think I'm going to have to take tomorrow off from it because of work stuff. Thank you, Will It Forge. This is a super hat failure. I'm so sad.
I see what happened there.
Thank you, Will. I'm done now. Someone else talk so I don't feel paranoid about roboting. Satsu, what have you been up to?
I don't think I did anything YouTube-wise today, especially had the day off, so we hung out. I do got plans to upload a cooking video tomorrow because it's about that time to do so. And we were working behind the scenes to try to get some Green Hill stuff done. They had an update, and we were hoping that they fixed the one issue that we were having, and that was not amongst the list of issues that were fixed. So that's a bummer, which means we'll have to finagle to figure out how we can try to fix it ourselves. So probably going to be working on that tomorrow also, because we'll probably have to bring in the some command codes and see if we can manually put the items that aren't showing up in the game so we can finish it up, because we've pretty much showed everything there is to see in that game with a few exceptions. And obviously there's the single player campaign, which I've been considering doing myself. So on that front, by Friday we should have that together so you guys can see what's going on with that. Otherwise, just working on the usual stuff.
Thank you, Manic, for the donation. And Dogcat Fox, hiya Dogcat Fox, who lives with me on the moon. Just because it's right in front of me as I click through my windows here, there's a breaking news from Judicial Watch. Judicial Watch, which is a conservative, nonpartisan educational foundation promoting transparency. Okay. Anyway, Judicial Watch announced that it served a subpoena authorized by a D.C. federal court on Google to produce all Clinton an email from a Google account believed to contain. Google will fight that to the end of time, privacy laws, etc. So, yes. Anyway, roboting.
Yeah.
Is he talking?
He was, and then he stopped
Oh,
because he was roboting.
all right. I'm so sorry. I heard him say that there was something going on with Judicial Watch, and then I was waiting.
I got a bit of it, but
Yeah, I missed it.
Hello.
hi.
Hello.
Yeah, that was a ghost me sitting there for God knows how long. Anyway, I was done. So, Monkey, what have you been up to?
1 second. You couldn't have asked at a worse time. I had to cough. Let's see. Last night did a Monkey in the Morning right after this stream. I just jumped straight into it because we had all that breaking news yesterday. And Drunkle joined me, and then Jack joined me, and Sanut joined me. It was a hell of a time. If you guys missed it, that's your fault. Still up if you want to watch it. Then I was going to game stream today, and my satellite internet said, no, you can't do that, Monkey. I was like, well, why the fuck not? And I never got an answer to that. So I just jumped onto my regular stream and bitched for about an hour until I felt better. That's all. I will be, if my satellite will cooperate, be doing a game stream when we're done here. That's all. I feel like I should go on.
You got to think of more stuff you did, man.
And then I had dinner, and Lady Monkey made me a Satsu.
Yeah.
I made homemade fries for the first time in my air fryer. That was nummy.
Oh yeah. The air fryer. If you get that down and figure out what the time is, it's really good, dude.
I should have sliced them a little thinner.
Mm-hmm.
I was making steak fries, but they were still just a little too thick for the air fryer, or at least how many I had in there. They still turned out really, really good. And then Lady Monkey made me a milkshake. It was wonderful.
You guys oil your fries before you toss them in there, right?
Yes, sir.
One little suggestion that I tried that made you get or helped me get extra crispy fries.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit of cornstarch. Yeah.
Do you mix that in the oil or just mix it all together?
Mix it all together. You put after you season your fries or whatever. Well, y'all white, so you probably don't season them, but no.
How dare you, sir?
I know you grew up in the hood. I'm just fucking around. No, but
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I had to restart my computer, and I don't even know. I've been gone for however long I've been gone. So
that makes me jealous because it takes me fucking forever to reset my computer. But yeah, you just when you toss the oil in there after you season it, just put a little bit of
cornstarch.
Yeah, cornstarch in there, and you'll get extra crispy fries. It's nice. The air fryer is a wonderful device. I love it.
Okay. Yes, we were talking food while you were gone, Scribbles.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's move on to internet fucketry, and I'll just be quiet because I'm paranoid now. Satsu, you got any internet fucketry?
Well, the thing we just talked about kind of pissed me off a little bit, but
go ahead.
Well, it was just the that fucking story that is pretty much taken over like everything. The dude with the rape or whatever, like fucked my brain up. Let me see here. I know there was something that I saw today earlier. Oh, there was this other parody site. I can't remember what it was called. It wasn't the Babylon Bee, but they had put out an article that said that Bernie Sanders failed to molest enough women to become elected.
That's fucked up.
And I'm just like, bro, that's not cool. That ain't cool at all. I think all the stuff that I mainly seen was over on Facebook. I just gotta. Oh yeah. So you guys know that right now Donald Trump is being accused of wanting to open up everything early, and it's a really big problem. And despite the fact that all these experts are saying don't, that Donald Trump keeps insisting, and it's really horrible, and he's going to get everybody killed and all that stuff, right?
Indeed.
Alongside all the fact that we keep hearing this every time he opens his mouth, every day almost, I see an article about another governor, person who's trying to open up various things in their designated states. And they're always put in a just like, they're just thinking about doing this, guys. So heads up. It's never put in the bad light. They're always like, yeah. So, for the people who live here, this stuff might be available for you soon. Cool, right? But every time I see one about Trump talking about opening things early, this is disgusting. It's horrible. It's a terrible thing. I can't believe he's even suggesting that. Why won't he just listen to the experts? And that annoys me. that pisses me off. But I don't have to explain why, because this hypocritical bullshit that I see every day is constantly infuriating me. But there was a couple of them I saw today. One in particular was Georgia, I believe. It was opening gyms, nail salons, bowling alleys, and shit. And movie theaters next Monday, it said, supposedly. This was from the Business Insider. And they're just like, yeah, heads up, guys. This is happening. And I'm like, where's the anger? Where's the fucking outrage? Why aren't you upset about this? I thought it was bad. But no, apparently it's fine as long as Trump doesn't suggest it. But that's pretty much it. Just various versions of that shit. And a whole bunch of memes from pro-life people who are saying that conservatives are now pro-life or are pro-choice. Sorry. Pro-choice people saying that conservatives are now pro-choice because they don't like the government telling them what they can and can't do with their bodies. Sounds familiar, huh, guys? Tons of those, like fucking tons of those memes today. So that's been entertaining also. Okay.
On that one, before you move away from it, because I have one related to that I'd like to do right now.
Mm-hmm.
This was from Chelsea Handler earlier today. Where is it? Fuck, I can't find it. Should be right here. Oh, there it is. The GOP went from pro-life to sacrifice your life real quick.
Real quick, Gamer Lean, thank you. Arizona is slowing. It's almost 90 here, about to open. Almost 90 what? Degrees?
Could be.
I don't know. Thank you, Gamer.
Yeah, I like. Do you think they're going to put fetuses out there working? Is that what you?
I don't know.
How does that have anything to do with pro-life? You crazy bitch.
Well, like I said, the stuff that I've been seeing is, oh, so you don't like the government telling you what you're supposed to do with your body. Yeah, because one of the, I don't know if it was, I mean, maybe, I'm pretty sure they were a bunch of signs that people had out there, but one of the signs actually said, "My body, my choice."
All right.
In regarding to the corona thing and them not being able to do what they want, and they're like, oh, how convenient, huh? And I'm like, I mean, you kind of walked into that one, but tis what it is. That's all I got though for my fucking tray.
Is that everybody?
Yeah. Well, that was me. Monkey just chimed in on mine. You got Monk?
Oh, I got some. Yeah, I just chimed in on yours because it's related, so I had to. Let's see, what else do we have here? Chris Cuomo has emerged from his basement, you guys. He's finally able to get out of the basement, and that's all he's wanted, you guys, is to come up those stairs and hang out with his family.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Like he did on Easter.
Right.
CNN actually played this up, and they have this picture of him actually coming out of the basement.
Oh.
That's just all I've wanted to do. What? Make sure your wife gets that double infection? I don't understand.
Yeah, did that biker drive through your downstairs wall or something?
Yeah, no shit. It's like you have a driveway in your basement? next to your new house? I just saw them. For real? Really? You're going to lie to people like that so blatantly when it was just last week that you were throwing this fit? I mean, it was just a week ago we were talking about him throwing his fit where he tells us he's outside with his fucking family.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Couldn't have happened. Because, I mean, if it did, then this would be a whole bunch of made-up bullshit that CNN's just doing for ratings. I would never suggest. CNN made it all up, you guys. I'd never suggest that at all. Anyway, next up, let's see. Elizabeth Warren. In regards to Trump's immigration ban, she said,
"What you got to say about me? What's wrong with Elizabeth Warren?"
Immigrants are on the front lines of the coronavirus response, putting their lives at risk and making sure our communities are fed, healthy, and safe. The Trump administration needs to stop using this pandemic as cover to implement their xenophobic agenda. Let's say everything she said is true.
Okay.
For argument's sake, everything she said is true.
Uh-huh.
Immigrants are on the front line of the coronavirus response. Okay.
How?
The ones that are already here, Liz. We're not waiting. It's not like they're shit, guys. We're not getting our Mexicans till tomorrow, so you're going to have to wait for your deli meat or for your doctor or whatever.
Deli meat.
They're already here. The ones on the front lines are not in Mexico on the front lines of the corona fight in the U.S., you silly bitch. It literally has nothing to do with it. I hate these people. They don't think. They do not think before they say this shit out loud. Like, they're on the front lines. He shouldn't be such a xenophobe. Even if you go, okay, look, she said xenophobe instead of racist, so I'll back off the brown man. Somebody in Scotland who's waiting to come here for immigration, and let's say they were scheduled to arrive tomorrow, are not on the front lines right now. Has nothing to do. The two things have nothing to do with each other. So unless you're suggesting we have a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of these jobs that are just missing because of people who aren't here yet, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about other than just trying to paint Trump in a light that you think is going to be advantageous coming into this election, which of course that's what they're doing. But stop making me defend him. In this case, even with what he's doing right now, it should have been done a month ago, a month and a half, 2 months ago even. And if you want to point that out, like, look, dude, you should have done this. It might help a little bit now, but should have done this a while ago. I would be on board. But when you're up there, look, man, he's just keeping out there would be another taco truck in your neighborhood if it wasn't for Trump right now. You're kind of a cunt. You're a liar, lady. And you expect me to be as stupid as the...
What I thought, monkey.
What's that?
I said the moment you said that, that's exactly what I thought.
Right?
Like, wait a minute. He's closing the border so more people can't come in. So he's stopping the people who are already on the front lines of the coronavirus from coming into the country. If they're on the front lines, why are they out of the country?
Exactly.
I'm losing it right now.
But she knows the people who voted for her aren't that smart.
They're idiots. You have to be a moron to look at that and not think the same thing. He didn't say, I am hereby kicking every immigrant that has ever come to the U.S. out.
Yeah.
As a response to the coronavirus. That's not what was said. And unless you're retarded, you can't think that that's what was being said. Even sheep are too smart to fall for this shit.
You'd think.
Oh, fuck me.
I don't know which of these two I want to do because either one has the chance to go the distance for what we have left. I'll try to be quick and get you guys. There was a Pew Research poll that came out today.
Oh my God.
And one of the questions that it asked was, how concerned are you? Well, let me get the right wording because I don't want to say it wrong. Regarding regardless of who you supported for the Democratic nomination, would you say the fact that the likely Democratic nominee is a white man in his 70s bothers you or doesn't bother you? White man in his 70s is being your Democratic nominee. Does it bother you or not?
On the basis of only those two attributes?
Yes.
And nothing else?
His age and his skin color.
Those things by themselves don't inherently bother me, no.
Black people said 28% of black people said it bothered them that a white old man was the nominee. 28%.
Oh, well, I'm obviously a racist.
30% of Hispanics said it. 49% of honkies said it.
Wow. Okay.
49% of honkies are like, that white man up there really bothers me. When it breaks down by women, it's women and men, both of them, 41% bothers them. Age groups, 18 to 29, 54% were bothered by that. 30 to 49, 45%. And then over 50 is 35%, basically. So young people, young honkies really, really don't like the fact that Biden is their nominee based on his skin color and his age. And then my favorites, post-grad college folks, your college-y educated motherfuckers. 58% of them have a problem with him being white and old.
How about the problem of him being Biden? I mean,
no.
God forbid you actually look at the person and just like, okay.
This is based entirely on his skin color and his age.
All right. The
college graduates, your regular college grads, 49%. Some college, 41%. High school or less, 24% are bothered by that. So your most racist, ageist folks are educated honkies.
Oh, they have to make up for putting Trump in the White House, I guess.
That shit made me laugh. I'm like, oh, wow. And then my final one that I had here, this dude from the Daily Beast, he's got an idea on how to fight back against Trump's daily press conferences.
Turn the channel?
Nope.
Oh.
He thinks the Democrats, in a rotating fashion, picked from Congress by Nancy Pelosi and Chucky Schumer, not those two. They can't be part of this. They just do the picking. They pick rotating members of Congress to respond in a briefing every night.
So, like the Democratic response to the State of the Union every single day?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's going to watch those.
No.
Okay, go ahead. No, do it. I say do it. Go ahead.
I do too.
Yeah.
Because one of his things is one of the people who has to do it, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh, yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Because she's a star, you guys.
Yeah. All the vice presidential candidates will have to get up there to show their chops.
Yeah, Biden can't do it because he's not officially anything. That's what this guy says. I don't remember if he actually gave an explanation for why not Nancy or Chuck, who, if you were going to do this, honestly, that's who should be doing it. But yeah, this is how you combat it, you guys, is you get random people from Congress to get up there and respond every day. Like, all right. I mean, if you want to, it increases the amount of dumbassery we're going to see all over. You're just giving Trump a target every day for the next one. I would like to see it, though. I would like to see how on point they are every day.
Well, you just know that Trump is going to then implant something into each one of his briefings that they won't be able to avoid talking about.
Yep.
In their response.
Yep.
Is like, I see here scheduled tonight to respond to my talk is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I just want to compliment her on her district being the ground zero for the coronavirus in New York. Just, praise for that. Let's move on.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine what's going to happen? She Cortez is the one scheduled to give it.
Yeah.
And he gets up there and goes, well, Cortez is giving it because Schumer's too afraid of me. I guess there's another tick for her when it comes time for that Senate race.
Oh, yep. Yeah, really, Democrats do it. I mean,
please do it.
It's all a circus anyway. You might as well add another clown car to it. Go ahead.
Just please do it. I would be so happy.
I don't even watch the presidential things except for maybe bits and pieces, but I just for the fallout from it, I go for it. Please do.
That's all I had.
Well, it's kind of good because that's just about all the time we had. And I didn't have anything, so that helps out too. But even if I did, I'd probably start roboting when I try to say it. Or I'll just stumble over my own words, and who cares about roboting? So we'll get into questions early, guys. Chat if you have questions, comments, concerns, conspiracy theories, complaints. If you have, I don't know, thoughts or considerations regarding Dune or the remake that is currently getting ready to release on its date of original scheduling, even though everybody else is being put off to 2021. Put them in the chat now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have questions, wait, I fucked that up, didn't I?
A little bit.
Yeah. I think my brain is roboting. If you have questions for us, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements for us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. And somehow, some way, after this wonky broadcast, I will regain my footing. Maybe. We'll see. Attack Alpaca, how do you like wings, flats, or drumsticks? How do I like them? I cooked, not raw, I guess.
Yeah, I like them chunks. I don't like wings because I actually like chicken.
Mm-hmm. Satsu.
I like both flats and whatever, and I also like them the way Monkey likes them because it's all kind of the same shit. You just get more from in Monkey's form.
When Monkey's form, you also get breast meat.
Yeah, I like KFC drumsticks and breasts. Mm-hmm. Original recipe. Mr. Scott J87, your favorite Dune movie? The Sci-Fi Channel version, the first one. Children of Dune was, but I like the Sci-Fi Channel version. I got a copy of that, the deluxe copy on DVD around here somewhere. I enjoyed that more than the Lynch one. The Lynch one has some sentimental moments and set pieces in it for me, but as far as the telling of the story, I thought the Sci-Fi Channel one was far more complete. You guys have a favorite Dune movie?
Never seen them.
Me neither.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Let's see. Pyrus Creed, is the reason Cryptic can keep giving Jack his last $2 is that he doesn't need to worry about going hungry since he has Scribe's dog?
Wow.
Are you calling my dog fat?
You're suggesting Cryptic killed your dog.
Cryptic, how dare you? John Smith, what are Biden-Trump debt going to look like? Wait, do you mean debate? I'm assuming maybe autocorrect screwed that. If there is a Biden-Trump debate, which at this point I would not be surprised if the Biden team did everything they possibly could to avoid it, it's going to be a disaster for Biden. I doubt that under an adversarial atmosphere as that, compared to all the other debates he's been in where they basically just laid out the red carpet for him, except for that one time where Kamala Harris tried to attack him and she failed, kind of. Or she won on the volume setting, but she didn't win on the content. But when Trump gets up there against Biden, yeah, it's going to be really messy because Biden will have to come down to Trump's level to compete. And I don't know if Biden can do that.
Do you think he's gonna go off? I for some reason I get the feeling that if Trump and Biden go at it or whatever, they're gonna be interrupting the fuck out of each other, and the people calling the shots are gonna lose control. And I think Biden is actually going to start cussing and going off on.
Well, see, the way I envision it. Okay, so you remember You ever see the footage of Muhammad Ali versus Evander Holyfield in Africa?
That never happened. Do you mean Joe Lewis?
No,
Or do you mean
the Rumble in the Jungle.
no, that was Ali and Foreman.
Oh, Foreman. I'm sorry, Foreman.
Foreman, yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize. That's me just not being an expert. Sorry. Anyway, Muhammad Ali and Foreman. Okay, where Muhammad Ali just let Foreman tire himself out, right? And then there was the rope-a-dope. I think you're going to see something like that, except rhetorically. Trump is going to bait Biden, interrupt, test his temper and everything, and sit back and be cool as a cucumber the whole time and let Biden lose his cool, because every time you've seen Biden completely lose his mind in public, it's when he's in an adversarial situation under stress. So Trump is just going to bait him and bait him and bait him until he just does himself in, and then Trump's going to come in looking like the calm, collected, professional one. That's my guess.
Well, just to add to that, I actually do truly believe that if that does happen, the media is going to actually play on the narrative that's been pushed by the right, that Trump is picking on this man who clearly has problems, and they're going to forget that that's like a bad thing. I think they're gonna do something stupid like that.
Frosted Glass. If I'm a store owner and someone picks up one of my items, pays, and then I give him his change, can I then say, "You robbed me"?
Technically,
by the new logic.
You never told him that you were okay with him purchasing that item.
Chicago Mike, guys, any thoughts about the Saved by the Bell reboot? I watched the trailer, and when I think back to what I remember of the Saved by the Bell TV show, the show that they're advertising on that trailer is the furthest thing from wholesome. And I'm not being some kind of Puritan, pearl-clutching whatever. I'm just thinking back to the kind of humor, the kind of atmosphere that cheesy show presented. And then looking at what they're doing in this new one, where like AC Slater is bragging to a couple of kids about how he banged their moms when they were teenagers.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm not some like purist nerd who's going to like go on a rage on Twitter or something, but this carries no sentiment for me, even though I wasn't like some big Saved by the Bell fan when I was younger. I mean, I watched the show. The catchphrases and things and the characters and the stupidness was just part of, inside jokes and stuff. But I looked at that show. I didn't recognize that as Saved by the Bell, even in mild spirit. I don't know about you guys.
Well, I watched Adonis Paul, AP, his video on it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't look anything to me like Saved by the Bell, which is what he's kind of going with. They tried to update. Saved by the Bell was a very campy show shot, in these few very small set piece sound stages. Mm-hmm. They're actually in a fucking high school kind of thing.
Yeah.
Either do it the same or leave it alone.
Do you know what the original name of Saved by the Bell was?
I used to. I'm sure when you say it, I'll remember it.
Well, it was actually a vehicle for Haley Mills.
Yes.
It was called Good Morning, Miss Bliss.
Yes.
And then they changed the name and the focus of the show to the kids more than her, and she eventually got routed out of the show at some point. And I only know this because I used to watch the Disney Channel when I was a kid, and that's where the show first showed up. And I didn't understand, the ebb and flow of television and all that other stuff at the time. So when another show called Saved by the Bell showed up and there was the same characters, I was like, what? So let's see. Pinkala Drive Maintenance says Zach Morris is trash. No, Zach Morris is a blonde Tom Cruise.
Yeah, have you ever watched there's a YouTube channel out there that does those videos?
Yeah.
And they actually go through. Zach Morris is a horrible person.
Yeah, I know. No, Zach Morris is a blonde Tom Cruise.
He is an absolute horrible person. And I used to watch this show all the time. I like this show.
Yeah.
I was a little bit older, so I wasn't watching it as a kid, young adultish. But I just laughed at it. Funny show. And then, I watched this thing. Oh my God, he's a fucking sociopath.
Oh Lords, why does Scribe not just celebrate his birthday today so that A, he doesn't reveal his real one, and B, it put all three in the same week? I came up with an arbitrary birthday for myself for the sake of things last year. I don't remember what it was though.
Me neither.
I think it was like May 15th or something.
Well,
I'm gonna say, I'll say,
they can be any day.
yeah, I know. I'll say May 15th. Okay,
December
wait,
25th.
what? No, wait. What's May's calendar? Let me make it a day that it's my my night. May 2020 calendar. Let's see. The 15th falls on a Friday. Okay, Friday, May 15th will be the birthday celebration for me. There you go. So mark your calendars, guys, if you care to. I won't be offended if you forget. I forget my own birthday sometimes. Let's see. Keeverdam says AOC celebrated the oil plunge. Yeah, she did, didn't she?
She
Yeah.
did.
That's going to be interesting. When yeah. Oh boy.
Well, she deleted it, so it doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly.
Scrolling up a bit because I missed some things. Backscan. If Biden has a heart attack during a Trump debate, do you think it would help or hurt his run for president? I don't want Biden to get sick. I want it to go through, and if he loses, he gets sick afterwards. I would rather not have the kind of chaos politically and otherwise that would happen if suddenly he can't actually run anymore.
Well, I'm very cynical, so I believe that these people are desperate enough to where it would actually help. Like they would try to go with some sympathetic angle, and they would literally try to push it like, "Oh, well, this man, it might be his last chance. We should try to do something nice for him before he dies by letting him defeat."
Oh God! It was his dying wish. Mr. Scott says, "Okay, but in that possibility, who would run in Biden's place?" Well, that would be up to the party at that point. They'd have to have their convention, I mean, or a special. I don't know, depending on when if it happened, when it happened, they'd have to nominate somebody because they've effectively routed out all the previous candidates. So it's going to be real tough to try to convince anybody to put up, the last runner-up, and that would have to be Bernie. So they can't do that. So they're gonna have to do some kind of vote, and it won't be Bernie. And they'll have a really hard time convincing anybody that everybody who lost and gave up earlier in the primaries is a viable candidate. So I don't know. Who do you think they try to put up? Maybe.
Fuck, I don't know. It would depend on if he's picked as vice president or not.
Yeah, that's true.
Because then probably them, but otherwise, not Bernie. Definitely not Bernie.
Gavin Newsom?
No, I don't think he has name recognition across the country yet.
Yeah.
Probably Warren. Yeah, I mean, she's
Oh God.
the female version of Bernie to some people. She's the establishment Democrat to others. So yeah, probably her.
Yeah.
Little split tail. They're going to split tail the difference, you guys.
Oh my God.
If that happens, that'll be the best chance Warren will ever have. Like it'll be like no matter at any point in this entire run, that right there will probably be the best shot she would have had, because I think that would rally a lot of people.
Questions. Mata Winter. Olod's butter, ice, or whipped?
What?
I'm beginning to think Mata Winter is just like some kind of random word generator bot.
Maybe frostings?
I don't know. I don't know what that was. Mr.
With
Scott,
your mom, all three.
Oh. Dom O'Leary says Vermin Supreme. Yeah, I don't think they're going to nominate Vermin Supreme.
Probably not.
I don't think he has a boot big enough to put on his head to get the creams. Somebody said creams. What kind of creams? Butter, ice, or whipped cream?
Ice.
Ice.
That's tough. Ice cream.
Willett Ford says, "Oh, thank you, Willett Ford, so much." Monk has Streamlabs. Monk, apparently you have Streamlabs.
Oh, well, shit. Hang on. Let me get it open. Sorry, guys.
Devil Fruit Zero, Scribe Light, in regard to your TEDx stream, what is your guys' opinion on self-help? Also, Scribe, I take it you are not Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, since we shouldn't take you as gospel. Haha, yeah, I used that phrase. And you'd be correct. None of those are my first name. You got me.
Can I get this? Will it Forge? Thank you. Trump/Biden debate will look like the severe beatings of an autistic man. Was going to super chat in YouTube, but they censored me. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Can I answer that question about self-help?
They asked you, yeah.
If you're looking outside for self-help, it's not really self-help. But I don't have a problem with people trying to better themselves in any manner. And if it works, it works. So there you go. But you got to be careful with that shit because you never know what charlatan you're running into.
Well, looking outside for help can be self-help if you're admitting you can't handle something on your own.
Yeah, but if you're buying a book labeled self-help, I feel like
yeah. Well, I mean, if you need, well, what's wrong with looking for some guidance on something? You know, to taking the initiative to try to figure something out for yourself with a little help from someone that knows something about it.
I'm not saying that that I'm against that. I'm saying calling it self-help is a joke. See, do it yourself where somebody's showing you how to do it, but you still build it. That's still you doing it. When it's literally just how you think or do things. I mean, I feel it's just not self-help at that point. It's okay. It's okay. That's why I said it's okay to better yourself. I just don't like the term self-help.
Okay. Scribe, when was the last time you were at the range? It says next 6 minutes. The range? I've never been to the range, so never.
You should go. It's fun.
I don't like guns.
Have you fired one?
Yes.
Oh, that's weird.
Jack Gunsky, Scribe Light. I think I could get an ad tonight without the exhausting back and forth. It's been a hell of a day. Okay. Well, guys, after the show, if you're so inclined, you can go over to Jack Gunsky's channel for, is it Quippers United or Jackbox games? I forget what's night Tuesday.
Quippers United. They play
Quippers
Jackbox
United.
games.
All right. Quippers United. And yeah, you can watch them do that. Are you guys green helling it tonight?
I'm not. Monkey's playing something, I think.
Oh, okay.
If my satellite works, I'll be doing a game over on my stream. But
okay. Let's see. Random American says self-help. Isn't that when you can't find a date? No, that's self-flagellation.
That's beating the corona out of your nuts.
Mr. Scott says, why is Satsu so quiet? Well, because his words are more valuable that way.
That's right. Also, I got kind of a headache, and the stories didn't help today. I'm not even lying, man. Like yesterday, I think I had a little bit too much fun. I was very hyper during yesterday's stream, and all day I was just like amped, and I'm not used to that. So today I've just been like, I slept way later than I probably should have, and then just kind of fucked around, and then I cooked dinner, and I was playing with Aaliyah, and like just been a draining day for me. So I'm kind of winding back up here.
Tack Alpaca, a sundae with Reese's Pieces or with Reese's Peanut Butter Cups?
Cups.
Cups, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll scroll up a bit more in case I missed something else, because I probably did. Nope. So I read that one. I guess I got all the questions I see so far. So there you go. What else? We got 15 minutes left to go. 15 minutes left to go. Oh my God. This is Kyle, and while you're waiting for the Quippers, you can check out my latest video. Shameless plug. Yes, me, Scribe Light. Oh, you're talking about This Is Kyle? You mean yours or me? No, This Is Kyle. Go check out This Is Kyle's channel. Check out his latest video. Well, it's gotten real quiet on the chat all of a sudden. Next 6 minutes, Lords of the Night. What has been your quarantine beer of choice? I don't drink beer, so this is nothing.
Don't drink the beer.
Yeah, me neither.
Wow, what a productive question.
I know. And now,
Guys, yeah, we don't drink beer, so that's always going to be nothing.
Yeah, we don't drink.
and now Jack Gunsky's using the chat as a dating site to get This Is Kyle over on his show tonight.
Oh,
Rand American, what's good to remember when uploading to YouTube? Well, make sure it completely loads before you click off the page. Let it sit. Make sure you don't have anything else. Depending on your internet connection, make sure you have nothing else running so it goes as fast as it can. Because also file size. Find whatever tricks you can to make whatever file you're uploading as low sized as possible. When I first started doing this, I had things set wrong on my video editing software, and it would produce my videos at practically a gigabyte size of something. And I didn't realize that until like late in the game. So that's why it was taking like an hour or plus or something to get like a 15-minute video uploaded. I didn't understand what the hell was going on because it was compressing it down and taking all that. I figured out how to reduce the file size to less than half of that at one point. And I was like, oh, okay. That's one thing to remember. W.R. Costin, thanks so much. Non Sequitur Scribe, also share and like the stream. Non Sequitur Scribe. Okay. Yes, share and like the stream. That helps out. Thanks, guys. You guys have any...
Try to get your SEO score as high as you possibly can.
Oh yeah, your title. Yeah, work on your my titles suck. Get your titles good.
Even if you're monetized, you're not going to make any money.
Yeah,
that's true too. Yeah, that's true too. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, well, this is what I do. When I first upload a video, I keep it unlisted until after I've inserted the end cards with the links to my channel and other videos, so I can upload it clean all at once and not have to go back and do any editing or anything. So yeah, when I first upload it, I keep it unlisted until I'm done doing all my tweaks so that I can present it complete. That's one thing that I do. It's not necessary per se. I just feel it's more professional and efficient, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Keeverdam, Ranting Monkey, doing anything special for your birthday?
No. My son is coming over with pumpkin, and we're having dinner.
Yay.
On our birthdays, we always have, whatever the birthday person wants. And we're having spaghetti tomorrow because that's what I like on my birthday. So, yeah, they're coming over for spaghetti dinner, and that's it. Yeah.
Cool. Frosted Glass, smash or pass the Duchy on the left-hand side? Pass the Duchy on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's going to pass.
Yeah, I don't do the ganja. I don't. I've tried it twice now on 2 different birthdays, 35 and 36, when my best friend let me have some of hers. And the first instance, it made me feel like nauseous. It was just like the worst parts of being drunk all at once is how it affected me that one time. And then the second time, it had no effect at all. And I don't care. My sister is a pothead, but that's her thing. Motto Winter. Oh, Lords, would y'all try tacos with mint seasoned steak? Well, that's a no for
nope.
Right there. Side of refried beans and a beer glass of horchata. None of that combination sounds tasty to me. I'm sorry. No. Mint in steak? No.
Yeah, you can keep all that.
Yeah. Spittlebuggies. Monkey, do you have a lot of sleeping problems from the pain?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah. No. Monkey's sleeping habits or lack thereof are a constant source of concern for us over here. He needs his beauty sleep. No, actually, he doesn't need his beauty sleep. He's just naturally beautiful, but you know what I mean.
Indeed.
Mr. Scott, what's the most hot dogs you have eaten at one time? P.S. Are you putting hot dogs in your spaghetti, Monkey?
No. I like hot dogs and SpaghettiOs cut up, but not in spaghetti. And that's because SpaghettiOs aren't really spaghetti. They have that really sweet sauce. Most hot dogs I've eaten at a time, probably 6. Not that it's not like a hot dog eating contest kind of thing.
Yeah. I like hot dogs okay, but I'm not like super duper hot dog crazy. So I think the most, like maybe 3 in a sitting because I don't eat that much to begin with, and hot dogs are relatively filling with bread and everything else. So, Satsu.
6 is the most hot dogs that I've ever eaten, and I don't know if this was the other another question, but put hot dogs in SpaghettiOs and pork and beans.
Original Shroom says Scribe Light complete HP Lovecraft 51 hours an audiobook for $9. 51 hours of audiobook. Well, why not just read the stories? They're all free online. Actually, for HP Lovecraft audio, my favorite stuff is the radio play versions of the stories that the HP Lovecraft Historical Society puts together. They've done stuff for Color Out of Space and At the Mountains of Madness and Call of Cthulhu, and they're great. And there's some that you can find recordings of live audio dramas that were performed at like Dragon Con back in the 90s or something. I think Harlan Ellison did one for Rats in the Walls, and it's great too. If you can find those Dragon Con ones, they're wonderful. But yeah, now I've got a lot of Lovecraft on audio. I have a reading of At the Mountains of Madness by Edward Herman. And if you don't know who Edward Herman is, he was the master vampire, spoiler alert, in Lost Boys, amongst other roles that he's been known for, but that's what most people know him for. And he's got a great reading voice. I think he also did he do the Bugliosi book? Yeah. I think they're reclaiming history, talking about the JFK assassination and the investigation thereof. That was a great book. Really interesting. Let's see. Pincala says some people can't read things online, Scribe. Well, I'm just saying. Delford Zero says Omegon does readings of Lovecraft. Well, I mean, he's Cthulhu, so kind of has to. Let's see. Check Your Log says, I have no mouth and I must scream. Yes, that is Harlan Ellison. Andrew Joyner, not an original question, but favorite rock bands. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on your definition of rock, but my favorite bands growing up were Alice in Chains and Tool, as far as that stuff goes. Although my friends made fun of me when I was like into Tool, because like, you like that industrial crap? I'm like, yeah.
You be proud of your crap, Scribe.
Oh, I was proud. I mean, I looked like the last possible person who'd be into that stuff. The way that I comported myself as a kid, I didn't dress up in like leather and look like a rocker or something. I was just a nerdy kid with glasses. But I love Tool, man. And Alice in Chains is my jam.
God, right now the 3 that I listen to the most still Bon Jovi, always. Matchbox 20, I still listen to a ton of that, and 3 Doors Down. Those will always be in my playlist.
Midnight Exo says Tool is an industrial or progressive. Well, that's what they said to me. I'm not going to say the accuracy of their categorization of. I'm just saying that they said, it's like I remember my friend one friend said, Tool, isn't that like Skinny Puppy? Like, no, it's Tool. Like Skinny Puppy. Satsu, you have a favorite rock band?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I've got a bunch of songs that I like, but I can't really say I like any bands specifically because chances are I probably only heard like 2 of each band song.
Chances are. Mr. Scott, favorite 80s or 90s catchphrases? Well, Zach Morris is a blonde Tom Cruise. I don't know. 80s or 90s catchphrases. Stick around. I mean, any one-liner from a Schwarzenegger movie, pretty much in that era.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. I don't know.
Isn't that the 80s?
Yeah, that was 88, 87, something like that. I forget. I know, Die Hard. God, maybe that was like 84, 85. I don't know. We watched it for movies you should have watched at one point, didn't we?
Yeah.
Manic Scribelight, favorite author. Oh God. I mean, I guess it depends on the genre. For sci-fi, for alternate history, you can't really go wrong with Harry Turtledove. I know it's a weird name, and that's his name. The World War series he did, the first 4 books in the original series, were great. They're wonderful. And Guns of the South, a different book, but alternate history all the same, where the South wins the Civil War with AK-47s. It's interesting. For true crime, well, I mean, so there's kind of different versions of true crime now. There's like modern true crime, and then there's people who look way into the past for like antiquated stories of crime. For antiquated stories of crime, you can't go wrong with Harold Schechter. He did a great book on H.H. Holmes called, I think it was called, was it Fiend or Depraved or something? All of his true crime novels had just like a one-word title that described something about the killer or anything. But yeah, his book on H.H. Holmes was very good. His book on Jane Toppin, a female serial killer who probably killed like 80 people with poison back in the 1920s or whatever. For more modern crime, I'd say Anne Rule. You know, she's passed away now, but her books on Ted Bundy and what's her name? The lady who killed her kids in Oregon, I think it was. I suddenly forget her name. But anyway, yeah, she did a lot of great true crime books, and like was really, I mean, she knew Ted Bundy in real life, like before he was found out to be a serial killer. She's got a real interesting connection to all that stuff. So,
Oh, wow.
holy, whoa, what?
Oh wow. That is a very expensive question.
Okay. No one, nowhere. Thank you very, 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 very much. That's exceedingly generous of you. Wow. Thank you. But okay, I got to take this question seriously. Who wins, man, bear, pig versus dog, cat, fox?
That's easy.
Okay, you tell me.
Dog, cat, fox wins. Man, bear, pig is not real.
Oh, aren't you sweet? On the moon, dog, cat, fox, because dog, cat, fox knows to handle the lack of gravity. Man, bear, pig would be swimming.
Anna said, hopefully that was on purpose.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, no one, nowhere. If that was a mistake, I will not be offended if you rescind that. Because that would be an expensive mistake. I can get that. If that was supposed to be like $1.50 or something, I get it. So,
based on a recent one I got from the same person, I'm betting that's not a mistake.
okay. Well, the same.
He can answer.
Yes, I understand. But thank you so much. I don't know what to say. With that kind of generosity, I am going to find a way to pay it forward, as it were. But thank you so much. Let's see. Check your logic. You can rescind messages. I believe there is a mechanism to claw them back. I remember there being something like that, but I don't. I forget. I think you could like stop payment somehow if you did it through Google.
Yeah, there might be something like that.
Yeah, don't quote me on that, but I've heard that happen before. Or people have done that. So
I had one the other day. It was an accidental $300 one when it should have been $3 over on Streamlabs. I was able to just reverse it through my PayPal. So
there you go. Good.
I don't know. Or that was me being able to give it back to them. I don't know about canceling it through Super Chat.
Yeah, I don't know. If somebody came to me with something like that and said, I meant to give you X, but I gave you this instead, I would find a way to refund them.
Yeah.
I've never been asked to do that. So I don't know if there's a way to do that through Google itself, maybe like through Google Wallet or something. I could find a way, but I don't know. I'd have to look that up if it ever happened. So fingers crossed that such a mistake never occurs. I only got a minute left. I got a couple things. Let's see. Check your logic. If Hunter was guested on a small channel tomorrow to talk about leaving the right, would Monkey watch the live stream?
Probably, if I knew it was going on and had time.
Yeah. Let's see. Jack Unsky, I wonder if anyone's ever sent a super chat for $1,000 or over. I'm sure it's happened.
I think the maximum is 500.
Is it?
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Joel McLaughlin, thank
That's chunk for YouTube.
Joel McLaughlin, thank you so much. Super sticker. Or whatever.
No one nowhere says no mistake.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you. No, even as RoboScribe, you are consummate entertainers at Scribe. Thank you so much. Like I say,
Very kind.
Very, very kind of you.
The donation and the thought there. That's very kind.
Yes, and also because StreamYards doesn't show me the actual sticker, thank you, Joel McLaughlin, for the Dog Cat Fox, who is obviously the champion of Animal Moon Combat. But guys, with that, we are at the top of the hour and thus the end of the show. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I wish I had some control over it. Apparently I don't. So just kind of muddle through. And also an extended appreciation of those of you on the TEDx stream earlier today who waited out the roboting instance with me so we could continue the show. I do appreciate that. Like I say, I get embarrassed by it. I get frustrated by it, but I thank you for your support and your attendance. Remember, guys, after this, sometime soon over on Ranting Monkey Games, you're going to do something?
Yeah, when I'm done here, I'll have to get all set up for it. Probably about 11:30ish. I'll go live.
Okay. 11:30 Eastern time, guys. Or alternately, you can go over to Jack Gunsky's channel for Quippers United, where This Is Kyle might appear. Also, go check out This Is Kyle's channel because he's got a new video up. So do that too. And I don't know if No One Nowhere has a channel, but if he does, go check out his channel. Let's just do it. Subscribe to it. Even if he has no videos, just subscribe to his channel. Just
go to his house.
No.
What?
No calls to action, monkey. Not like that. Not like
Go
that.
beat on his door to say thank you.
No.
What?
Oh my God. Anything else?
I had the spirit.
Yeah. Oh, you got something in you. All right. Anything else to mention before we go, guys?
No. Thank you guys so much for watching. The only thing I have to say.
Satsu?
Fuck off.
Sounds about right. Guys, everyone, thank you for joining us as you always do. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience is the most well-behaved on the internet, in relative terms. And everybody who donated tonight, I do not have the words, as I always seem to lack, but I really do appreciate your generosity, ridiculously so. I'm going to find a way to, as I say, karmically pay this forward in the very near future. Whether or not I advertise what I do is usually up for debate. I keep those things relatively private, but if it is something that I wish to promote, I will let you know. Otherwise, guys, Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
On my birthday.
On
Bye,
Monkey's
guys.
birthday. Bye, guys. Except for tradition. I bring out... Oh, and Shrouded Angel, thank you so much, belatedly. My copy of Screw the Roses, Send Me the Thorns, The Romance and Sexual Sorcery of Sadomasochism.
Sadomasochism.
Thank you, Satsu. And today's secret word is... lady.
Lady.
Hey, lady! Lady.